But let's continue, right? We're going to read from here, okay? We're going to read from the Apocrypha, right? Let's check it out. So I'm going to go to the last book of the Maccabee. Okay, let's read it. Okay, we're going to read it. Okay, so I'm right here. Okay, this is the book of the Maccabee, second book of the Maccabee. Okay, the last chapter, we go to that. So chapter 15, second book of the Maccabees. Okay, chapter 15, we read verse 36. Verse 36, and we're going to go back to the point. And they ordained, or with a common decree, in no case to let that day pass without solemnity. So which day? The day of Nicanor, which is about to end. Because the sun is still up right now here in Northern Virginia. Right? In Virginia right here, the sun is still up. Okay, the sun is still up. Okay, we still got like a couple of minutes, or maybe, I don't know, you know, I'm always tracking it down, right? So he said the day of Nicanor, right? Watch this. But to celebrate the 13th day of the 12th month, because the 13th day of the 12th month, the month is Adar, which is February, March. The 13th day, right? So 13 sundown to 14 sundown, we're keeping what? The day of Nicanor, that vibe that was destroyed, right? The enemy of Israel. So let's keep in mind. Then he said, in the 12th month, which is in the Syrian tongue, is called Adar, the day before Mardoch's day. So this brother, the Maccabees, so the feast of the day of Mardochi were already ahead, because we understand that what? The Mid-Persian, they were the one that was before who? The Greek. Okay, we understand that. So understand that there's a chronology of the thing right here. So we want everybody to understand. So you got the Babylonian, that rule, and when they were destroyed by who? The Mid-Persian. So the Mid-Persian, they were destroyed by the Greeks, and the Greeks were destroyed by the Romans. So understand that. So that's the main reason why the Maccabee, they were being ruled, they were slaves in the kingdom of the Greeks. So the Maccabee, that's what they're referring to, the book of Esther. That's what they're talking about, the day of Mardochi. And it's the Mosai that moved the spirit upon this brother, and they set the event, the Mosai set the event to fall on the 13th day of Adar, which is going to follow the 14th day and the 15th day of the same month Adar. You see, the Mosai set it up like that. So we got 3 days on the roll of a feast. 3 days on the roll, starting for 13 sundown. So 13, when the day start on the 13, right? So 13, right, to 14 sundown 1 day. 14 sundown to 15 sundown 2 days. 15 sundown to 16 sundown. You make it 3 days. So 3 days. So that's what he's referring to. He said the day before Mardoch's day. So now, I want to go a little bit more into detail. So we're going to go and read the rest of the book of Esther. So keep in mind, we're going to read a little bit of that. Okay, a lot of our people, they don't know about that. Sometimes they don't read it. So let's go into it. So I'm in the book of Esther, right? The continuation of the rest of the chapter, okay, which are found neither in the Hebrew nor in the Chaldee, but in the Greeks. They were found in the Greeks, right? In the Greek. So let's keep in mind. He said, then Mardochai said, Yahweh had done this thing, for I remember a dream which I saw concerning this matter, and nothing thereof had failed. So the Mosai revealed unto the brother, right? The Mosai revealed unto him, right? So the Mosai revealed unto the brother, right? The Mosai revealed unto the brother in the dream. He said, a little fountain became a river. A little fountain. A little fountain became a river. And there was light. Okay, let's continue. And the sun, and much water. This river is Esther. You see, the Mosai giving understanding. Who is that river? Esther. She's the prophetess. She was not like known, but the Mosai uplift her. Whom the king married and made queen. So who the king married and made her queen. Okay, let's continue. And the 2 dragons are I and a man. So the 2 dragons. So keep in mind. And the nation were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews. It's always happening, brothers and sisters. Understand. These people, they don't love us. It's given to our forefather from Abraham all the way down to who? Yahweh Shah Mashiach. That what? We're going to be oppressed by our enemy. But Yahweh is going to die. He'll be hanged on the tree in order to save us. Understand that? So our forefathers, they understood. But we just the one we don't understand. Let's see. He say, and the nation were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jew, and my nation is this Israel. So he didn't say the whole world. Understand that? No. He said, and my nation is this Israel, which cried to Yahweh and was saved. For the Lord hath saved his people, and the Lord hath delivered us from all those evil. And Yahweh hath wrought sign and great wonder, which have not been done among the Gentiles, among the heathen, among this nation. That's why when you go to 1 Peter chapter 2, let's read it quick, man. I didn't plan for it, but let's go over there. It's the spirit. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2. Because we got to understand, man, we set apart people, we're great people, man. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 9. And it reads, but ye are a chosen generation. We're this chosen generation of this time. Like our forefather, like Moses in his generation. Like Ezekiel in his generation. Like Esther in his generation. He said, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into the marvelous light. Okay? So let us understand that. Right? Let's go back here. We're going to continue to read. He said, therefore hath he made two lots, one for the people of Yahweh. So he made two lots. It's two lots the Most High made. One lot for the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latino and Native, based on your father, not your mama. Based on your father, based on your daddy. Okay, you are what your father is. And he made another law for the heathen, the other nation. Okay, let's read it. He said, therefore had he made two lots, one for the people of Yahweh, and another for all the Gentiles, for all the other nation. Okay, understand that. And these two lots came at the hour and time and day of judgment before Yahweh among all the nations, because we were scattered. The Jews were scattered throughout the fucking of this earth. Some were living here, some were in Egypt, some were in Ethiopia, some were in Libya, some were in France, some were all scattered. Okay, understand that. Okay, let's get it. But he said, so Yahweh remember his people and justify his inheritance. The Most High will remember us, because we are the apple of his eye. He said, he that touches you touches the apple of my eye. So that's what they don't understand. That's what Esau don't understand. These heathen. They hate us. They're doing all things against us. They're deceiving us. They give us in Caesar Borgia. You see what I'm saying? Shalom King. They give us Caesar Borgia. They give us Christianity. They give us all type of thing. Guess what? The Most High is seeing everything. The Most High is watching. And anyone who touches, when the police kill the so-called black, the so-called African American on the highway, on the byway, the Most High is watching everything, buddy. Esau, keep in mind, the Most High sees everything. So the Most High sees everything. He that touches you, touches the what? The apple of my eye. So you hate black people, you're on the wrong side, buddy. If you hate the so-called African American, you're on the wrong side, buddy. You're on the wrong side. If you hate the so-called Native and Latino, listen, you're on the wrong side, buddy. You're on the wrong side. Okay, keep in mind. So that's why we tell the brother, if they hate you, you gotta rejoice over that, because the Most High will avenge you, man. You ain't gotta do anything. If they hate you, if this heathen, this Edomite, this Moabite, this Elamite, or whatever you name, this heathen, this nation, they hate you, don't worry about it. Thank the Most High. Bless the Lord. Because your reward is in heaven. It will come there one day. The Most High will give you your reward. Don't fight them. Call on the Most High. Right? Let's see. He said, so Yahweh remember his people and justify his inheritance. Therefore, those days shall be unto them in the month Adar, so 12 month, which is February to March. We know 12 month right now. The 14th and 15th day of the same month, with an assembly and joy and with gladness before Yahweh, according to the generation forever among his people. So we got to keep that day. Now, in a Christian church, they don't teach us. They don't tell us we got to keep it. They say, oh, President Day, oh, Mother Day, Father Day, oh, Valentine's Day, yeah, oh my goodness, Thanksgiving Day. Come on, man, we don't need that. I mean, that's garbage. That's trash, man. We better than that today. That the Most High, through Yahweh Shai Mashiach and the Holy Spirit brought us into the light. We better than that. We don't want to deal with that. You keep that. You the hidden. You celebrate that weakness. We don't want to deal with that. We want to keep this day. So today when the sun goes down, brother and sister, okay, you can feast. Today when the sun goes down is the beginning of what? The 2 days of Madoshi. So a day is sundown to sundown. Let's go right here quick. Because some of our brother that are just waking up right now as we speaking, as we teaching right now, they don't know what is the meaning of a day. They think a day is what Esau say. The day is what the Most High say. Let's read it. Okay? Let's read it. This is the book of Genesis, okay? Genesis chapter 1 and verses 5. He said, and Yahweh called the light the day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. Watch this. And Yahweh said, let it be a firmament in the midst of the water. Let's jump right here. I'm going to jump to here. I'm going to jump to verses 8. And Yahweh called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. So you see that is always the pattern, is even to evening. Okay, when you go in the book of Leviticus, also is well detailed right there concerning the feast. Leviticus 23. Leviticus chapter 23. You go over there, the Most I tell you, the feast day are to be observed. Let me go over there quick. Let me go over there just to share light on for some of the brothers. So if you take a look very well, the feast of Passover is start what? At the evening. Okay, let's read it quick. Let's go over there quick. I'm a share light on that quick so all the brothers they can understand. Right? Let's go over there. Okay. He said this is the book of Exodus chapter 12, right? Exodus chapter 12. And let's read it. Right? Let's read it. He said, speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their father, a lamb unto a house. And if the lamb be too little if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it accordingly to the number of the soul, every man according. Okay. So let me see. And ye shall keep, verse 6, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. In the evening. So understand that. It's always the evening. The day starts from the evening, sundown. When the sun goes down, that's the day, a new day started. A new day just end, a new day start. Sundown to sundown. Evening to evening. Understand that. Okay? So if you go in Leviticus, you'll see the same thing. So let's continue what we're reading, because this is interesting right here. Right? We share with our people. He said, therefore, those days shall be unto them in the month Adar, the 14th and 15th day of the same month, with an assembly and joy and with gladness before Yahweh, according to the generation forever among his people. So you see, so we got to keep it. So you can celebrate. What do you have? You got some water, you want to drink water, you get water. You want to drink juice, you get your juice. You want to drink a little bit of wine, you get your wine with your family. Or you get some Israel around it. You want some beer, whatsoever. You know, you do it with moderation. You don't want to get drunk. Okay, you see what I'm saying? You drink with moderation, right? We understand sometimes we've been accused of things like that. How should I imagine you were accused of being what? A drunkard. Even though he was not drunk, but people accuse him. So you got to be moderate because you want to be drunk. If you're drunk, something happen, evil come upon you. Somebody can go and rape your wife. Somebody can go to your house and steal everything, do evil to you. That's why you don't want to get drunk. You stay awake, you stay put. You drink a little bit whatsoever you need. You rejoice before the Most High and you keep the day. You keep the feast. It's a beautiful, it's a blessing. Okay, we receive rest from our enemy. That's why I request this day off, literally from work. I request it off, right? So I request it off because I don't want to work. I don't want to deal with Esau. You understand that? I request it off so I can rest from all this work. Understand that? I can take it rest from seeing my enemy, the wicked, right? You see what I'm saying? So we can do the same thing. So let's jump. We jump to chapter 11, right? So this is the book of Esther, chapter 11. Let's read. It says, in the 14th year of the reign of Ptolemus and Cleopatra, Disotus, who said he was a priest and Levite. So this brother is a Levite. And Ptolemus, his son, brought this epistle of Purim, which they say was the same, and that Lysimachus, the son of Ptolemus, that was in Jerusalem, had interpreted, right? In the 2nd year of the reign of Artaxerxes the Great, in the 1st day of the month Nisan, Mardochus, the son of Jairus, the son of Semi, the son of Sisai, of the tribe of Benjamin, had a dream. So this brother, Mardochus, was from the tribe of Benjamin. He was from the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, understand that. Now, this was a righteous brother. He had a vision, okay, from the tribe of Benjamin, who was a Jew. So a Benjamin is considered a Jew. A Levi is considered a Jew. A Judah is considered a Jew. Same thing, right? Let's continue. Who was a Jew and dwelt in the city of Susa, a great man, being a servitor in the king's court, right? Keep in mind, he was also one of the captives. So he was slave. He was among the captives, the Jew that were taken slave into where? Mid Persia. Okay, let's understand that. Okay, okay, and it was first and foremost from Babylon. It was from Nebuchadnezzar, so he was slave already in the kingdom of Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah, if you read deep, because I know it's not well detailed, but when you go and you read in history, you understand that Mordecai, in the beginning, he was already slave in the Babylonian. He witnessed the Babylonian and then the Mid-Persian captivity. Imagine that. And he was a righteous brother. He witnessed that. He went to two captivity. Maybe it's more than that. But for sure, maybe he got to be mentioned. He said, he was also one of the captives. There we go. He's right here. He said, he was also one of the captives which Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, carried from Jerusalem with Jeconias, king of Judea. And this was his dream. You see, as I said it, because when you go through the research, you study, he was already slave. He was among the slaves that were taken into Babylon. And guess what? He's still slave in the Mid-Persia. You see that? Hey, all praise to the Most High. We got to understand that. Sometimes we complain, we cry. This brother, they were righteous. He was righteous. And still, he went into captivity. Okay? So this is a part of the curses that the Most High placed upon the Israelites, right? Let's continue. He say, behold, a noise of a tumult with thunder and earthquakes and uproar in the land. Why? In the land, all the whole world, right? And behold, two great dragons came forth ready to fight, and their cry was great. And at the cry, all nations were prepared to battle, that they might fight against the righteous people. The righteous people who? The Israelites, the so-called African American, the so-called blacks, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indian. They are the nation. They're always coming against us, right? Say, lo, a day of darkness and obscurity, tribulation and anguish, affliction and great uproar upon the earth, upon the whole earth, from the north to the south, east and west. Keep in mind. And the whole righteous nation, the Israelite, okay, was troubled, fearing their own evil. So we were fearing our own evil because we were in the midst of weakness. Our people were doing weakness as they're doing today, as we're speaking right now, right? And we're ready to perish. We were on the point to be destroyed, our nation, right? Then they cried unto Yahweh. What did they do? No, they marched. What did they do? Then they cried unto the Most High. They cried unto the Most High. They didn't march. They didn't protest. They didn't say Black Lives Matter. They didn't do none of those things. What did they? Then they cry unto the Lord. Yahweh, have mercy. Deliver us. We've sinned against them. We've done amiss. Have mercy. Deliver us from the hand of our enemy. Please, Lord Yahweh, please. Vengeance is of thee, man. Our vengeance from our enemy. They've been oppressed. That's what we got to do. Keep the commandment. Keep the commandment. Pray unto the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Let's continue. He said, then they cried unto Yahweh, and upon the cry, as it were from a little fountain, was made a great flood, even much water. The light and the sun rose up, and the lowly were exalted. Who? Esther. Esther was exalted. Mordecai was exalted. And the Jews, they were exalted where? In the kingdom of the heathen. So the same thing can happen to us. We can be exalted right here. Though we got the Ishmaelite, we got the Chinese, we got the Hamite, we got the Edomite. Guess what? If we're righteous and we put it together, we come together in one spirit, understanding that we under Yahweh Shah Mashiach, guess what? The Most High is going to uplift us. And all these hidden, whether it be here in America, whether it be in France, England, Germany, Africa, they be scared. But we don't understand that. Right? What did he say? He said, the light and the sun rose up, and the lowly were exalted and devoured the glorious. So our forefather, the Most High, used them to devour these heathen. Right? Let's continue. Verse 12. Now when Mardochus, who had seen this dream, and what Yahweh had determined to do was awake, he bare this dream in mind. And until night, by all men were desirous to know. So the brother, you want to understand it. Because sometimes we got dreams. We got to understand what is the meaning of the dreams. You see what I'm saying? What is the meaning of the dreams, right? Let's jump to chapter 12, right? It's so short, right? Quite interesting. This is a history. This is our history. This is the thing we're supposed to be reading. So we invite the brother and sister, okay, read the book of Esther and the rest, especially the rest, because it's interesting, super sweet, delicious. It's loaded with the Holy Spirit. All the medicine, the remedy that we need is right there. Let's read it. So, Esther chapter 12, verses 1 through 6. And Mardochus took his rest in the court with Gabata and Tara, the two eunuchs of the king and keepers of the palace. And he heard the device and searched out the purposes and learned that they were about to lay hand upon Artaxerxes the king. So these two, they were about to kill the king. So the Moses revealed unto him, he understood that. Okay, watch this. He said about to lay hand upon Artaxerxes the king. And so he certified the king of them. So he let the king know. He said, listen, man, these two eunuchs, they try and kill you. They try and cut you off. They want to put you to death. Because the Moses revealed unto him. Then the king examined the two eunuchs. And after that, they have confessed it. They were strangled. So the king said, you know what? Put them to death. You try and kill me? Put them to death. Okay, let's continue. And the king made a record of this thing, and Mardochai also wrote them off. So the king commanded Mardochai to serve in the court, and for this he rewarded him. So you see what happened? This is why we tell the brother and sister trust in the Most High. Now the king Artaxerxes, what happened? He trusts in these two eunuchs, right? That so they won't do no harm to him. Guess what happened? Since he didn't believe in the Most High yet, right? Because the Most High knows he's God. But the Most High working miracle through him. The Most High working through him. So what happened? The Most High, to uplift his servant Mordecai, who was under these two eunuchs, because Mordecai was in a low state at that time, right? So what happened? The Most High, he moved the spirit upon who? These two eunuchs. He convinced Satan to go unto them so they can plot to kill the king. Who moved the spirit? The Most High. That's what we don't understand. Let's go right here in the book of Amos, man. Let's go to Amos quick, just to bring the point out. Let's go to Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Right, let's go over there quick. Bear with me. I'm going to read it. This is the book of Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Okay? He said, this is Amos 3 and 6. He said, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? So it's that we're bringing out the word of the Most High on the harp, on the power, on the string, on the chord, and the people ain't scared. You ain't scared about the word of the Most High, the Lord. Watch it. He said, shall there be evil in a city? So this evil that was about to happen to the king, what's this? Shall there be evil in a city and the Lord has not done it? If it's not the Most High, then who then? He moved the spirit. Somebody take a gun and shoot somebody. The Most High moved the spirit upon Satan. Go ahead and let them do it, man. Come on, man. So people don't understand that. That's the main reason why we say trust in the Lord. Now, this guy, since he trusts in these two eunuchs, what happened? The Most High moved the spirit and said, you know what? You put him to death. Let him know you're about to put him. And he revealed that to who? Mordecai. In order to uplift Mordecai, to bring him up high. And what happened? The Most High revealed that to Mordecai. And Mordecai, he went and exposed it to the king. And what did the king do? The king didn't believe first. He said, you know what? Let me see if it is true. So he brought them up. Guess what? They confirmed it. They said, yeah, we want to put you to death. And what do you, oh, shoot, you trying to kill me. Oh, whoa. Why? Because you trust in them. Because you don't believe in the Most High Yahweh. However, the Most High had mercy upon him. Through who? Mordecai. So the Most High said, you know what? I won't kill you. I'm going to reveal unto you through my servant. And he will let it you know. So when Mordecai revealed unto him, what did he say? He said, put these two eunuchs unto death. They hanged them. And what happened? Mordecai will be uplifted. You see, that's why we tell you, if you trust in the Most High, you'll be fine. 1,000 can fall at the hand, left, right, 1 million on your left hand side, right hand side. None shall come nigh to thee, because you rely on the Most High. Okay, so let's see. He said, and the king made a record of this thing, and Mardochai also wrote thereof. So the king commanded Mardochai to serve in the court, and for this he rewarded him. So you see, he rewarded him. Who rewarded him literally is the Most High, is Yahweh. But through who? The hidden. Through who? Artaxerxes. So keep in mind, through who? Artaxerxes. So we got to keep in mind, it's the Most High who reward him. But through who? The hidden. So let's continue. He say, howbeit Aman, the son of Amadetus the Agagite, who was in great honor with the king, sought to molest Mardochai and his people because of the two eunuchs of the king. So this become a beefing issue between, Mardochai, because they don't want the Jew to be serving with the king. They don't want that. But who said our forefather, like Mordecai and the Jew, to be closer to the Mid-Persian king? Is the Most High. Now this heathen called Aman, okay, the son of Amadetus the Agagite, he was mad. He said, listen, man, you know what? I'm going to call this nigger off. I'm going to call this Negro. We're going to destroy them off. I don't want them. Oh, I don't like these black people. This African American, oh my goodness, this Nigerian, this Beninese, this Senegalese, this Sierra Leonese, this Brazilian, I don't like them. What did he do? He said, sought to molest Mardochai and his people and the Jew because of the two eunuchs of the king. Because he revealed it and they got put to death. Right? Chapter 13. The copy of the letter was this. The great king Artaxerxes writeth this thing to the princes and governors that are under him from India unto Ethiopia. Why did I read it? Because it's not good to like precept upon precept. That's why you got to read this thing. It's important. Let's go right here. Let's go in the book of Esther. Again, I'm going to go over there to give understanding to everybody. So all of us, we can understand. We can be on the same page. Let's go right here. Because I just read it. Because sometimes you see Israel say, you know what, I don't believe in the Apocrypha. You don't believe in the Apocrypha? All right. Hey, it's up to you. Right. Let's read right here. Esther. This is Esther chapter 1 and verses 1. Right. To precept this thing, he said the copy of the letter was this. He said the great king Artaxerxes writeth this thing to the princes and governor that are under him from India unto Ethiopia. India to Ethiopia. Huge region. Vast amount. Okay. Read Esther 1 and 1. Now it came to pass in the day of Ahasuerus, this is Ahasuerus which reigned from India. They give you the detail from India, even on to Ethiopia. You see, over 120 provinces, 127 provinces, right? So it's correct. So the continuation of the rest of the book of Esther lining up with the Esther that we read in the Bible. Now, in the Christian church or in the other Bible, you won't find it. So you got to get what? The Apocrypha. Or you get a 1611 version of Bible. And then you get everything. Everything is in it. Right? So let's read it. It said, so the rest of the book of Esther, chapter 13. So let's read it again one more time. He said, the copy of the letter was this. The great king Artaxerxes writeth this thing to the princes and governors that are under him from India unto Ethiopia in 120 provinces, 127. Keep in mind. After that, I became Lord over many nations and had dominion over the whole world, not lifted up with presumption of my authority, right, but carrying myself always with equity and meanness. So this heathen, he said, listen, man, I don't brag. I'm not bragging like you see, this kingdom, this new president, or this president of France, or this prime minister, Johnson Boris, or Pharaoh, the new Egyptian Pharaoh and Babylonian Pharaoh called Joe Biden, or Donald Trump. He said, I'm not popped off. He said, the Most High give me this thing. Watch this. He said, I purpose to settle my subject continually in a quiet life, you see, and making my kingdom peaceable. So this guy, we want to make his kingdom peaceable. Why can't America learn that? What is Babylon the Great? America is going to learn that they got to humble themselves and be at peace. Tell the police, stop shooting on the black guy. Stop killing the so-called black people. If you see them doing so, trying to talk to them. Don't shoot them yet. Trying to tackle them, may arrest them, things like that. But don't kill them. Don't do weakness. You see, but this heathen, they got common sense. Okay? More than this Edomite that we see this thing. This Edomite, they're wild beasts today. Wild beasts, man. Let's see. He said, I purpose to settle my subject continually in a quiet life and making my kingdom peaceable and opening for passage to the utmost coast. So he said, it's opening. You want to come across it, you want to travel to, you live in Ethiopia, you want to go to India, feel free. You're living from India or any region, you're coming from China, he said, you're free. Today, guess what? You got to pay border fees. You can't go through. You got to pay custom fees. You got to do this. You got to do that. Let's read it. He said, to renew peace, which is desire of all men. He said, I want to make peace, right? This heathen. Okay, let's continue. Now, when I asked my counselor how this might be brought to pass among that excel in wisdom among us, and was approved for his constant good will and steadfast fidelity, and had the honor of the second place in the kingdoms. He was right after the king, second place, declaring to us that in all nations throughout the world there will scatter a certain malicious people. You see that? So that's what we got to understand. So you can't celebrate the day, the feast, without going to this book and read it. You got to read it. And that's why I'm putting on the time to address it and give understanding to my nation, to my people, the so-called blacks, Latino, and Native, because we love them. The same way they love us, right? So let's continue to say, declare, because he always hate the Jew, who this devil called a man. So he declared to us that in all nations, so he understand our history. And that's what they do. This heathen, they understand our history. We don't know who we are. We don't understand that we've been scattered throughout the fuck of this earth. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 all the way down to 68. You read it, you understand it. You go to Leviticus, okay? Leviticus, 26:33. The Moses says he will scatter us. You go to Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah. The Moses says he will scatter us. Why? Because of our sin. So let's continue. He say, certain malicious people. So he's calling us malicious people, right? That are law contrary to all nations. You see, they understand that, brother and sister. You see, that's why I went to 1 Peter 2:9. We royal priesthood, we set apart nation. Let us not eat pork, please. Let us not eat bacon, please. Let us not do that. Let's not eat crab, lobster, shrimp, catfish. Let's not deal with the swine flesh, pepperoni, pizza, all this. No, man. Don't buy this junk food to your children, because most of the time they got pork in. Make sure you're buying organic, natural food and cooking for your children. I'm working on that. I'll be putting some link video right here, how to make this, how to, I'll be putting together, Lord willing, the Most allow me, just to help our nation, because we need that. We need that. We got to go back to the way, the root of our forefather. You see that? That's what we got to keep in mind. They say that we have a law contrary to all the nations, because we are holy people. Why? Deuteronomy 7:6. Let's go over there. These kids, they understand that we right, like we holy people. They understand, right? Even before that, let's see. Because they understood. These kids, they understood that, man. That's what we don't understand as a nation. As a nation, we don't understand. We do not. Okay? So, because we're going to read it. We're going to give you understanding, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 7:6 first. And we're going to go back. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. Say, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. Who? The so-called blacks, Latino, and Native. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Right? He said, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And that's why they're getting mad. That's why Aman was getting mad. He's lying. He's slandering against us before the king. Before Arthur telling that, there is this malicious people scattered through all the nation, where they got law contrary to all the nation. He said they don't eat